Oh, 56 hard in the wall. Looks like we're going to stay green. Oh!
They got a spin!
95 around, 33 hard into the inside wall.
Oh, they're wrecking up front. 93, Ricky Johnson's around, collects a 30, the 59, the 30, I already said the 30. Oh,
They're still wrecking.
Oh my god, the 22 of Jason San Diego, damn it. Oh my word.
Turn 3 and 4.
Side, they fly for turn 3 and 4.
That's 66 now. Oh, they're 3 wide.
Oh, Joe, who's
3.
here?
I don't know. They're 3 wide through the tri-oval. Give it to Feld there at the yellow flag. For the lead, the 77 goes to the inside. Doesn't have the run there. Goes back outside. He's going to try to have the momentum through turns 3 and 4. Peaks to the inside. It's going to be a drag race down the front straightaways. Calabol's around.
It's going to be at the line. It's so close. Merslack wins it.
Don't think. Oh, he got really close. He's going to look to the inside. Oh, they make contact. Oh my God. Joseph Weaver. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome once again to JTN for the 2021 Dirt Derby from Knoxville. I'm your host, Joe Twansky. Alongside me tonight, Mr. Tommy Bordeaux. Welcome to the booth one more time, Tommy.
Hey, Joe. Good to be here. Good to be back. That's 2 weeks in a row. Feels pretty good. Spending our Saturday nights out here watching some racing. Tonight, it's the opposite of Pocono, I'd say, if you could have any opposite. It's a completely different surface. There are 4 turns here, and hopefully a fun race.
It's going to be a great night here. Dirt track racing with cup cars. It's a unique challenge that these drivers will face tonight. A slick track. We've seen guys struggling throughout practice tonight, but Tommy, it's going to be I'm excited. I'm going to have fun. We're going to have heat races. We're going to have a last chance race, and then we're going to move on to the main event on the night. How's that sound? A bunch of different races for you tonight.
Yeah, a completely different format than we usually see, and that provides a little bit of intrigue because there will be some drivers, Joe, who do go home. Only 15 in the main event there, and with a field of about 20 or so, I think, Joe, some guys are going to be packing up early.
Well, Tommy, it's going to be a fun night, and, well, I think you might have had a fun night, and we're going to take you folks to, well, it's his world. It's Tommy's world.
It's Tommy's world. It's Tommy's world. It's NASCAR. Excellent. It's Tommy's world. It's Tommy's world.
Well, here I am, Joe, standing on 411 Speedway here in Knoxville, Tennessee, and all these cars are here. It looks like we're going to have a great race, except there's no cars here at all. Anywhere. Wait a minute. This isn't the right Knoxville. I'm at the wrong track. Well, hey everyone, welcome to the right track in the right state. We're in Knoxville, Iowa, and we're ready for tonight's race. This being the first ever dirt track that we're going to be broadcasting on JTN. So Joe, it's going to be a challenge and a little something different for all these USORL Cup Series drivers. Let me take a few through laps here. Alright, so right away you can see down, we're on the bottom, and this thing is slippery. You don't have the kind of grip that you have on asphalt down here, so you're really going to be working that wheel. These drivers are going to have a true test of their throttle control as well as their steering ability to try and balance that car. Make sure you don't spin out. Tonight I think the winner is going to be the driver that doesn't make the most mistakes. Doesn't mean he's going to make no mistakes, but at least kind of minimizes those errors. Specifically what I'm doing now, entering kind of low, just playing with the throttle, trying to get the car balanced on the bottom to not over-rotate once I apply the throttle on exit once again. And Joe, I think the preferred line is going to be this bottom. I think that's where a lot of guys are going to get their fast times in. However, it is possible to use the top. Here it is a little bit there. You can see this groove up here. It's a little slippery, but Joe, let me tell you, it's a little bit slicker sometimes up there. But if a guy is side by side, he can get a really good run on that high side and make some passes. Joe, it's going to be a thriller here at Knoxville. I just hope everyone else can come to the right track as well.
Well, folks, it's his world, and we're just living it. That was Tommy's world this week from two different Knoxvilles, Knoxville, Tennessee, then Knoxville, Iowa. Tommy, that was a pretty quick little scoot over here to Iowa for you and the whole Tommy's World TWB crew.
Yeah, Weaver puts together a pretty sweet ride there. It's quite souped up, so that made the journey pretty fast. That being said, Joe, yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun out there tearing it up on the dirt track. But man, it sure is slippery. These drivers are going to have a literal handful tonight.
Tommy, I think that is the closest thing to the truth. You know, everyone always says farthest thing from the truth, but closest thing to the truth tonight. 10 laps for these heat races. We're going to have 4 of them for you folks tonight before we go on to the LCQ. It's going to be a fun time for all of the drivers involved. Guys lining up right now. There you see them. Get you that little Heat 1 sticker so you know what race we're in tonight. Heat number 1 out of 4. Noah Joyce won the pole for the event, so he's going to be starting up front. You got a command. Davey Hazard in second. Cam Barnes, Mikey Murata on row 2. Row 3, it's going to be the 99 of Dalton and the 8 of Trey Coleman. Remember, top 3 drivers will advance, Tommy, and that means we're going to see a dogfight for that transfer position throughout this entire race.
Yeah, it's crucial, Joe. Like we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, some drivers will go home tonight, and that's going to mean a lot, especially in these tight points battles. Here we come onto the front stretch. We're starting right away here, Joe. Green flag is out for the first heat at Knoxville.
Alrighty, Davey Hazard sends it down into the corner, trying to get some momentum going on the outside. You see the dust trails off the back of that 55 red line oil machine of Mikey Murata. He's sending it down to those corners right now on the outside, Tommy.
Yeah, Michael. Definitely a very Class A dirt racer, but boy, getting pretty rowdy there for that third spot. That's the transfer spot.
Now we look back towards the lead because you can kind of see that battle for third. That lead battle works itself out as Trey Coleman now all over the back bumper of Mikey Murata in that 55, who's trying to get by Davey Hazard for the transfer spot in third.
Hazard going way high, trying to use that momentum on the outside line. Like I mentioned in Tommy's World, looks like he's going to be able to use that and clear Michael. I'll tell you what, Joe, this is a stacked heat. We got a lot of great drivers here.
Yeah, a lot of great drivers that we think are going to be really strong tonight, and 2 of them right now battling for that transfer position. Remember, if you can get in now, you don't have to worry about making it through in that LCQ, and that's, again, another 10-lap race that's going to be crazy. There's going to be guys making last-ditch efforts to make it to the main, but right now it's Noah Joyce out front, starting on pole, running some really fast lap times right now, Tommy.
He's been very consistently fast all night long. Monday night at the lights race, he was just a cup of gas away from winning that thing. Ran out right before the end, and it was actually Austin Spencer who came away with the win there. But tonight, Noah Joyce looking for redemption, and boy, that'd mean a lot for him, Joe. It'd be his second win of the season and second in his career, and after a tough stretch of races since his win at Daytona to start the season, another win would be nice. But he's got a long way to go still. 5 laps down here. 4 to go now in this first of 4 heats.
Yeah, big moment there for the 75 of Davey Hazard coming off of turn 4. Car got really sideways on him. We've heard that all night, Tommy, from these guys in practice. The track is very slick right now.
Yeah, it's almost like you have bowling balls for wheels and you're driving on ice. Not a whole lot of traction out there, not a whole lot of grip. Really testing the driver's patience behind the wheel, how they can maneuver through these corners now. Looks like we have 1 retirement from Heat 1. It's Jesse Dalton in the 99. He will be in your LCQ, but there's still 5 drivers out on the track vying for 3 spots.
Yeah, Mikey Murata trying to get that outside line to work. He's trying to make up ground on Davey Hazard in the 75. Just can't seem to get it done right now. Hazard, we've seen him struggle a little off the corners, and in talking with him before the race, Tommy, he said this event was going to be very challenging for drivers with the wheel. White flag.
And Davey, one of those drivers with the wheel, but he's also won at Knoxville 2 times in a row. We got a spinner!
Around.
Cam Barnes, huge implications, put Michael Murata up to 3rd.
Well, put Mikey up to third, put Davey in second, but coming off of turn number 4, Noah Joyce wins heat number 1.
Yeah, and with that last lap spin there, put Davey Hazard and Michael Murata up to 2 and 3, which means they will be advancing to the main event, while Cam Barnes joins Trey Coleman and Jesse Dalton in the LCQ later tonight.
Tommy, that was a 5-minute race right there, and you're going to get to see 4 more of them tonight. A lot of great racing action to start off this event. And you talked about it, stacked field there for heat number 1.
Yeah, any one of those drivers could have moved on here, Joe, and been in that top 3, but ultimately it was the 3 of Noah Joyce and Davey Hazard, Michael Murata coming out on top of it all. Moving to heat 2 shortly now. Joe, I'll tell you what, it's a lot of stress now put on those bottom 3 from heat 1, Cam Barnes, Trey Coleman, and Jesse Dalton. They know they're going to have some work to do when it comes time for that LCQ later tonight.
Yeah, but those 3 guys now that made it in, they can rest easy, Tommy. Those being Noah Joyce in the number 3 Dow Chemicals machine, Davey Hazard in the 75 Adidas machine, and Mikey Murata in that throwback-looking 55 Redline Oil car.
Well, here we go, Joe, to heat number 2 on the night, and it's going to be Ray Tustin at the head of this field. Behind him, Monday's Lights winner here at Knoxville, Austin Spencer in the 13, followed by William Page. He got a top 3 at Pocono last week. John Peterson, and rounding out the back is going to be number 24 of Alex Seufert. So 5 cars taking the field for this heat number 2. Number 3 of them will advance, so 2 drivers from this heat will be going to the LCQ.
5 guys starting this race. 3 will make it. Right now, that transfer spot, it's going to be a battle between the 42 and 49. They're in Chevrolets this week, Tommy.
That's right, Joe. Bit of a switch-up for that team. IPA moving to Chevrolet. Those are teammates there in 3rd and 4th. Behind them, the 24 Jag, Alex Seufert. And up front, Ray Tustin leads them down to the restart zone. And away we go. Heat number 2 is underway.
5 guys in this heat, and they're all under a blanket to start it. Ray Tustin on the bottom, Austin Spencer the outside, and don't look now, William Page thinking about going up the middle.
William Page, one of them drivers with a lot of experience out here on dirt tracks in NR 2003. It's a very specific way you got to drive these things. Right now he's looking good. Didn't have the best qualifying effort, but so far we're looking to be almost 3 wide in turn number 2.
Looks like 3 wide for a second there. Those drivers have to have very good communication with their spotters at this track, and William Page really loose through the center. He's going to lose that transfer spot.
Got out of shape. That allowed John Peterson to get by him. Pretty comfortable for Ray Tustin in the lead. Gets a little loose down on the bottom there, side by side with, oh boy, Austin Spencer on the outside.
Yeah, it looked like Ray hit that berm there with where those cones were. Where it's a little, you know, it's kind of like a curving. That really upset that car coming to lap 4.
But they're still all good to go. The main battle here is for the transfer spot, that 3rd position between teammates. Get a little bit of sideways, side by side back there, 42 and 49. That's William Page and John Peterson.
Page moves through up to that 3rd spot and to the lead. Austin Spencer loses it after hitting the wall coming off turn 4. Give it back to Ray Tustin.
At 18 in the 13 car, back and forth. That 42 and 49 back and forth right now. Alex Seufert lagging a little bit behind there. But as we saw in the last heat, anything can happen. Halfway
in this one, it looks like the top 3 pretty stable right now. Ray Tustin, Austin Spencer, William Page, that top 3, but Page trying to make his way up to that 13. Remember, 1 spot on track, Tommy. It's worth 4 starting positions in the main event tonight.
That's a good point, Joe, and track position is going to be pretty important. It's kind of hard to pass here. That outside line, it's possible to make a move out there, but man, you got to send it in real deep. And I've heard from Davey Hazard, who's been out of the car already from his first heat. It's a struggle up there, Joe. So definitely track position going to be at a premium. Back up front, speaking of track position, Ray Tustin advances away from the rest of the field, and things are closing in for second place right now. Austin Spencer losing a little bit of ground to the 42 behind him.
Yeah, it looks like that 18 set on rails right now, which that's got to be a good feeling at a track where you're just loosey-goosey all the time. But right now, the battle, like you said, Tommy's on for second. Austin Spencer in the 13, William Page in the 42. Page trying to close the gap, trying to make his way around that 13. You see those front wheels, left, right, trying to keep that car under control. Little loose off turn 4.
Yeah, you mentioned, Joe, how important it was. Every spot means a lot of positions, but at this point, you just got to take what you can. Here we are in the final lap of this heat number 2.
Final lap of the heat, coming off of turn number 4. Ray Tustin wins heat number 2.
Not as much drama on the last lap as there was in the previous heat, Joe. Either way, 3 very deserving drivers have made their way into the main event, and 2 others will have to make their way in through the LCQ. So as a review there, Ray Tustin, Austin Spencer, and William Page, your top 3. John Peterson and Alex Seufert, the 2 that will have to go to the last chance qualifier coming up after these next heat races here on GTN. And tonight here in Knoxville, our debut of dirt track racing is in full effect, and we're happy to have you here. I appreciate the 10 out of 10 rating on Tommy's World from the California Poppy. That is much appreciated. And heat number 3 is underway shortly.
Drivers being called to their cars for heat number 3. And let's meet them out here on the starting grid, Tommy.
A couple of good drivers out here, Joe. Jack Healy in the Toyota Camry, sponsored by Levi's. S77 car is going to start in front for this heat. Behind him, DJ Harris in the 66, followed by the 98 of Ricky Collette. He's a fan of the show, friend of the show, I should say. Behind him, it's the 81 of Tim Kunkel. He is a dirt ringer out here tonight. And Garrett Sidnor makes up the last car in heat number 3.
Drivers, start your engines!
Here's the call to start the engines here in heat number 3. We'll have one more to go after this, and then our LCQ event. Once again, the top 3 in this heat will advance to the main event without the need of an LCQ to get them in. Pace car is off. Here we are in turn number 4. Jack Healy leads them down to the Myco restart zone. Green flag is out. Here we go. Heat number 3 is underway.
Well, Tommy, he's going to look to get those jeans dirty out front. He's going to have all that new dirt all over the front grill of that number 77. Doesn't look like they have a wire cage on the front to prevent mud from clogging up the opening. We'll see how that works as Ricky Collette slides into the second position in the TWB machine.
Boy, big moves out of Ricky Collette right there. Started 4th, now up to 2nd. That 98 car on a good trajectory, as is the 16 of Garrett Sidnor. Both those cars now have made their way up into the transfer spots. Like you mentioned, Joe, that 98 car, TWB on the hood, on the front, he's got that mesh grill up there. That's going to be working good for him, I bet.
I bet, but right now he's got a big challenge on his hands from the 16 of Sidner. All over the back bumper of that 98 for second place. As we saw, it looked like towards the back, Harris in the 66 had trouble off of Forrest. Tim Kunk. Oh man, I'm going to say is Kunkel. I'm going to go with it. I'll roll with it. And the 81 tries to find a way back to the 16. That 81 was really fast in practice, Tommy. I'm kind of surprised he's not showing the pace right now.
Yeah, well, he fell off a little bit there, Joe. DJ Harris had a pretty good qualifying run, but that single lap speed isn't translating to race pace, and it's put him in a bad position right now at the back of this heat number 3. Meanwhile, back up front, Jack Healy doing a great job in that denim plated car up front. While meanwhile, the battle for second heats up between the 98 of Ricky Collette and 16 and Garrett Sidnor.
Well, Ricky normally races on a wheel, Tommy. Tonight, racing on a controller. It sounded like guys that were on the controller were a little faster. Ricky decided to make the change for the evening, so we'll see how that plays out as he continues to get more experience. But Garrett Sidner on the keyboard goes up to second.
Yeah, a lot of varieties of vehicular control devices out here on the racetrack tonight. Hey, meanwhile, don't look now, that 81 of Tim Kunkel, he's kind of making his way back into the picture, Joe, but he's only got a few laps to get up to third place. That's Ricky Collette holding down that spot right now. He's only got 3 laps to do it.
That 81 Dirt Vision machine looks great, but you know what's a better live race broadcasting service than Dirt Vision, Tommy? Oh no, he goes around.
Oh no, looks like we jinxed him.
Well, I think it's the one that's on this TV panel, or I don't know, that's not the TV panel. Lower quarter panels of the 98 of Ricky Collette, JTN.
I agree, Joe, wholeheartedly. Well, I'll tell you what, that new ticker we got looks great. So happy to be a part of this right now. Lap number 10, the final lap in heat number 3. Here we go, Joe. Looks like the top 3 have got this in the bag as long as they don't make any mistakes.
And that ticker a little confused. It's about a lap behind. These guys are getting these laps done so quick here. But coming off of turn number 4, Jack Healy in the Levi's machine wins heat number 3. Here comes the 81. There's Tim. What a trooper finishing this race off.
I think he's going to have a pretty good shot at it in the LCQ, though, Joe. It's going to be a wild race, but we still got one more heat to see who locks themselves in to the main event. That time by was Jack Healy in the 77, followed by Garrett Sidnor in the 16, and Ricky Collette in the 98. Those 3 are moving on into the main event, while those that will have to qualify their way in through the LCQ are Tim Kunkel in the 81 and DJ Harris in the 66.
We'll see how that plays out. That LCQ, it's going to have a lot of guys, Tommy, that I think were very capable of making it to the main event in their heats and just weren't able to get it done. We'll have to see how that plays out. Right now, drivers getting called up to their cars for the final of 4 heats tonight.
Alrighty, Joe, 5 more cars lining up on the grid here for the final heat race of the night, right before the LCQ. 3 of these drivers will lock themselves into the main event, and 2 of them will have to race their way in just a few minutes' time. In this heat, Joe, the 11 of Antonio Ruiz starts up front. Behind him, the number 12 of Cal Lovell, and the number 2 car of Sean Whitehill, friend of the show. Behind him, Darren Ingram in the 23, and the 1 car of Zach Krastowski rounds out the rear of heat number 4.
Drivers, start your engine!
There's the command to start engines, like you said. Antonio Ruiz, Cal Laval, Sean Whitehill. They're the top 3 for this. They're in the spots to transfer, but don't. That 32 of Darren Ingram, or rather 23 of Darren Ingram back there, that car is going to be fast, and we know Darren's not afraid to make a risky move. He's might have to risk it to get that biscuit tonight. We'll see how it plays off. Coming off turn 4 for the final start of these heats. Green flag, Antonio Ruiz, Calaval down into turn 1.
Very even start between those 2 on the front row. Looks like Antonio Ruiz cuts the advantage on the bottom a little bit. We'll see how that momentum helps Cal Lovell on the high side. They're still side by side going into 3.
Yeah, there you see from the helicopter cam, Cal gets a little loose through the center. Darren gonna shoot it up 3 wide, makes contact, gets bumped both, and spins out the 2 of Sean Whitehill.
Oh, that's not going to be good for Sean Whitehill's chances, Joe. He's gonna be hurting. I don't think he can come back unless we get a yellow flag here. But that's highly unlikely in these heat races to happen.
And Sean is not happy over the radio, already hearing a bunch of expletives over that one, so we cannot bring you audio from there. But Calaval in second, Darren Ingram third, and Zach Krastowski there in 4th.
Cover Bristol's ears, Joe. Up front, Antonio Ruiz doing a good job, as well as Cal Lovell pulling away a little bit from that 3rd spot. Oh, as I say that, Ruiz gets a little loose on exit. Things tighten up front.
Cal trying to make that outside line, that second groove work. He's done a good job of it so far, keeping track with that 11 of Ruiz. Let's see if he can keep it to work. That 11 car seems like it's... I don't know what he's doing with the throttle, Tommy, but I hear it. It keeps hitting... Oh, Cal in the wall!
Oh, my goodness!
What happened there?
I don't know, Joe. I'm looking at the monitor right now to see what might have happened. Cal Lovell, huge impact. He's going to have to race in the LCQ.
And that moves Zach Krastowski up to the transfer spot. He was running fourth, was the last guy in qualifying, and now he's going to be up into the main, Tommy.
Pretty impressive for that one team, but that 12 car, Joe, just shot straight into the outside wall. Oh my goodness, Joe. I hope he's okay.
Right now, the battle's on for second. Krastowski to the inside of Ingram. Looks like he's going to get it done off of 4. See if he pulls the slider up off the corner. Thinks wiser of it, keeps it down on the bottom. Let's see what happens if he can complete the pass. He does, coming off turn 2. Move Krastowski up to second.
Looks like we got some inside info from the pits, Joe. Cal's game crashed, so he is going to have to attempt to make his way into the race through the last chance qualifier. Heartbreak for the 12 car. They're going to have one more shot at it.
They'll have one more shot, Tommy, but they are going to be in the worst spot to try to transfer it. They'll be starting shotgun on the field. Antonio Ruiz, how many laps to go?
Well, Joe, this time by just 2 laps to go. Antonio Ruiz doing a great job up front, really not spinning his car out or making too many mistakes. Not only that, Joe, but he's pulled away from the rest of this field by about 3.5, 4 seconds as we enter the final lap in heat number 4. White flag for Antonio Ruiz.
One more time for this 11 Omen machine of Ruiz. Can he get it done after starting on the pole? That's been the common thing tonight, Tommy. All the guys that started up on in position number 1, they transferred in, coming off of turn number 4. Antonio Ruiz wins heat number 3. Or 4. I can't count.
Well, that's a pretty good omen for that 11 team, Joe. For the rest of the night.
That was really good, but I can't give it to you. You laughed before you said it. I can't give it to you.
I can't give a guaranteed spot in the main event to the 2 of Sean Whitehill and the 12 of Cal Laval because, Joe, they finished 4th and 5th in this heat. While the 3 that did make it in were Antonio Ruiz, Zach Krastowski, and Darren Ingram. So those 2 drivers, Whitehill and Laval, will have to join the rest of the drivers in the LCQ, and only the top 3 of those get into the main event, and that starts shortly, Joe. It's going to be a wild one.
Yeah, how much time in happy hour do you think we got?
Well, it looks like we got about 3 minutes to get things set here, Joe. Get drivers a little bit of practice in that maybe haven't been in the car since their heat race, especially those guys that were in the first heat. So, hey, man, I'll tell you what, Joe, this is going to be exciting because we got a lot of guys looking for just 3 spots.
But while that's occurring, Tommy, we're going to step away real quick on JTN. You're going to see a quick little lapse here on the live stream. We got to fix something that I didn't fix before the broadcast. We'll be right back. 10 seconds max. I'm going to get in, fix this, get out. We'll be right back here on JTN. And back here on JTN. Never mind, we're not back. Something real quick. We'll be right back again. All right, and back here on JTN. Should be getting back to racing action out in Knoxville, Iowa in just a second. It's going to be, again, a great night of racing action. And Tommy, oh man, we saw some great heat events.
Yeah, really intense action, Joe. Couple thrills and spills up there. And boy, the intensity is going to be heightened for this LCQ. Joe, we got a couple of drivers out here that are going to make their way into the main event tonight to make our field of 15. Some are going to go home, and that's, I'm sure, going to be quite frustrating. A scramble in the pits, Joe, hearing word that Cal Lovell, after his game crashed in that final heat there. Looks like they're struggling to get back in the race there. Hopefully everything's all right with the car. You can see those guys down in the garage area. And I'm telling you what, they are really working hard for that 12 team, trying to get things sorted.
Trying to get everything back up and running. It's going to be tough. what happens here. Everything should be coming back to you at home. If you're having some issues with the stream, try refreshing the page. Had to, again, fix something on my end to make sure the stream resolution was correct, Tommy. I made a big oopsie. Because we record the Fake Racers podcast with the same equipment that we do at the racetracks, and you can check out that Fake Racers podcast here. But, from us having to make a quick fix to Cal Laval and that High Point number 12 team having to make a quick fix, oh boy, tonight Knoxville is just shaping up to be really hectic down here in the infield.
Yeah, they're trying to do everything they can. Hopefully he's going to be back in a few minutes here, and they can make that LCQ. If not, Joe, that's going to end their night. I mean, there was a lot of damage sustained to that 12 car, and man, Joe, I've been in that scramble in the pits sometimes. It's not a very fun place to be. Not comfortable and a lot of stress.
For sure, Tommy, and oh man, that is just, it's heartbreaking, right? It's to have something like he was in the transfer spot, now he's going to have to make his way all the way from the back to the front, and we will see what he can do. It's been hard to pass, right? We've seen it's hard for these guys to get this outside line to start working. Ray Tusted, you watch him on your screen here out in front of him, Jack Healy. They used that bottom. They started on pole, they stuck to the bottom, and it worked out for them. I want to see these guys rip the top a little bit more, maybe make up some speed down the straightaways, but so far we just haven't seen that tonight.
Yeah, I think one of the ways people are going to be able to pass here, Joe, is forcing it in on the bottom. Not necessarily dive bombing, Joe, but just trying to get themselves filling up that mirror of the car in front of them, make them think about you, because when they think about you, they know you're there. If they're, if they're noticing you too much, they might make a mistake, and that's going to be your opportunity to slide on down underneath them. I think that's going to be one way guys are going to pass. I don't know. We'll have to see about that high line, Joe. Later in the race, I was talking to Davey Hazard here earlier tonight, and he said things might migrate up to the top there. We'll just have to see how it evolves. And certainly, Joe, these drivers thinking ahead about what they can move, what kind of moves they can make later tonight.
Yeah, getting some more reporting, Tommy. Mikey Murata writes in, or told our reporter Bristol down in the infield, he is out of breath after Heat 1, so, oh wow. That is,
And that was just 10 laps, Joe.
I know. We're gonna times that by 10. 100, we'll be racing to 101, but it'll be 100 laps in the main event, so will definitely be some challenges, some struggles for these guys, because you're just on the edge this entire time, especially around a dirt track.
Yeah, definitely, and the concentration and the focus it takes to get around this place without making a mistake. I'm telling you what, it was hard to talk and drive at the same time during Tommy's World, because it took a lot out of you. And you could see my wheel was working a lot. I'll tell you, these guys are going to have a handful in front of them, like we said. Looks like that 12 car Cal Laval is back out here, Joe. Crew did a good job getting it back together.
Happy hour.
So we will go to the LCQ. 9 drivers vying for 3 spots, Joe. 6 of them will go home sad.
I hate it when people go home sad.
I agree, Joe, but hey, that's racing, all right? Makes it more prestigious here for all those guys that made it into the show.
Guys all lined up here in our LCQ. I'm assuming they're going to take a lap, so you'll see that ticker. We're racing to 11, not necessarily 10. We'll see how that works out here for us. It's going to be fun, though. It's going to be fun. You're going to be watching it all here on JTN. Again, another 10-lap mad dash to the end. Top 3, once again, advance to make up our field of 15 in the main event. And we'll talk to you about that main event once we get there, because there's some special rules in place as well. Again, caution laps will not count in this race.
Start your engine!
As we get the same command for the 5th time in a row. Thanks to whoever that is. I couldn't, I'm assuming it's a GardenLightsDirect.com rep. Big sponsor of the USORL.
Oh, yeah.
But we will see what happens. Make sure, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to us here at JTN, the JoeTow Network, to get notifications every time we go live. See, they're not. I don't think they're going green this time, are they? I guess they are.
We're getting lined up here, Joe.
Come on, guys. What a tease. What a tease. I can't say what kind of tease that was, but If you're at home, you're over the age of probably 13, 14, you know what kind of teas I'm talking about. Maybe older than that, Tommy. I don't know.
I like string cheese, Joe.
I know. Brendan the Gent writes in, this is going to be great. I would agree with that.
It's going to be intense, Joe. A lot of these guys here, they want to make it in. They need to make it in for their situation. I mean, playoffs are closing in here, Joe. Every point is going to matter up front here. Cam Barnes leads us with John Peterson to his outside. And away we go in the last chance qualifier.
Yeah, green flag, remember, racing to lap number 11 here. Not 10, 11, so that's a little trick we're playing with you on that ticker. Right now, Cam Barnes squeaks out to the lead. Tim Kunkel back there, he's moving into second, so he's trying to move up to that transfer spot. And Trey Coleman right now in third, but he gets real loose. Up the track goes the 8. And, oh, it makes contact with the 2 of Sean Whitehill. That's a contact wreck, 24 Seaford in it. And Dalton Trey up and over, and that's going to bring out a yellow. It has to bring out a yellow.
Yeah, that's a caution here, Joe. The first one we've seen in these heat races, I'll tell you, we kind of figured that would happen, though, Joe. The intensity has picked up. Trey Coleman had a very quick flip there. I hope his car's okay. It looks like everybody at least driving away from that incident so far.
Yeah, there you see the replay. Whitehill just goes a little too deep in. Again, these guys are battling for these positions, Tommy, and then those cars get lodged together as that 8 goes tumbling up and over.
Oh, there's some tragedy up front, Joe. The 81 of Tim Kunkel looks like he dropped his internet connection somewhere on the floor. He was up into second.
Oh, no. That's heartbreaking.
It is. We'll see if we can get back in here soon. 7 to go at the restart, Joe. The lap counter's going to be all off. But we will have 7 laps to go when we restart this race.
We're asking you to do some math with us here tonight at JTN. These guys are going to choose here at the front straightaway at the restart line. There you see everyone just, high-low, high-low. That was our choose, right? Maybe, I don't know.
I think so, Joe. These guys they're doing something.
When you get these long cautions at short tracks and you just don't know why? Well, we're trying to figure out the running order it looks like here. National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum off of turn number 3. This is Knoxville, sprint car capital of the world, Tommy, and I mean, you had a beautiful cross-country trip. Oh, 24, a little...
Hang on to it, Jag.
Hey, man. It's tough to drive under yellow. They don't tell you that at race car driver's school.
We're choosing now here. Got some word in from the 2 car, Sean Whitehill. Sean Whitehill in that Sean Whitehill Chevrolet. No second gear in that 2 car. Going to make this restart tough for him. Even tougher because he's towards the back of the field.
Well, real quick, Tommy, I am the owner of that car, and I have to tell you that it's a Ford Mustang. It's sponsored by PPG for Team Tuwanski. So, PPG, Team Tuwanski, Bristol, our owner and CEO, and, he runs everything in my life. I got the sponsors in, buddy. It's okay. We're good. We're good, pupper. But... here we go, Cam Barnes with control of this restart. Let's see what he does with it. Coming down into the Miteco restart zone, and here we go. Green flag, we're back racing from Knoxville.
Little note right there. Tim Kunkel made his way back into this race here. He's got a lot of work to do to get back to that top 3, however. Right now, it's 2 orange cars that occupy second and third, while Cam Barnes streams out ahead.
Oh, Trey Coleman gets into that right rear quarter of Cal Laval. But like you said, that battle's on for a second here. 66 of Harris trying to make the pass work. He does. He gets by that 49. Peterson is... oh, we got more contact towards the back. 20. Jag's in the wall, Tommy. That's going to bring out another yellow.
So far, no indication yet, Joe. We're still green.
Well, now we got more wrecking on the front straightaway. That's got to be... we got a car up and over.
Oh, my goodness. And what a terrible crash.
Is that a yellow?
That is a yellow flag. Goodness gracious. Holy moly.
Well, that moves the 99. Jesse Dalton up into the transfer spot behind DJ Harris in the 66. Sean Whitehill up to 4th. Trey Coleman there in 5th. Let's get you a replay.
Oh, what a terrible crash.
Which one?
All of them.
Go helicopter. Yeah. Here we go. It looks like Peterson in the 49 just gets loose running that high line, overcorrects it back to the right, gets loose again off the corner, makes contact with that 12 car, sends Cal down and careening into that inside wall. And that, Tommy, that's going to be tough for this 12 car to rebound. And then you saw the 81 Dirt Vision machine of Kunkel. Just, oh my goodness, no luck tonight at all for this 81 team.
Yeah, he was flipping like a sprint car right there, and it was looking pretty good for him. Up in second just a few laps ago, and oh man, that's going to be a hurdle for that 81 team.
There you see the onboard with the 81 coming off 4. There's the contact between the 49 and 12. Oh man, he had to have thought he got by that and was moving on to the main event, Tommy. Because he looked clear, and then that 12 car came out of nowhere and hit him.
Well, all right, Joe, when we go green, we're going to have 5 laps to go in this LCQ. So half of the distance, and already in just the first half, we've had cars flipping, cars flying. Who knows what can be in store for us in the final 5 laps. Going to be choosing this time around on the front straightaway. Looks like that 81 car of Tim Kunkel has retired from this event. It was a pretty nasty crash, some bad luck for that 81 team. Hopefully they'll come out to another race soon. Unfortunate for all those Dirt Vision TV guys.
Well, and Tim's a big dirt racing fan, so tonight he definitely wanted to wow these loyal dirt fans in Knoxville and just wasn't able, to get it done because of the bad luck. But here we go. Everyone choosing. It looks like top 4, one, inside, outside, inside, outside. Then you had some interesting choices to go to the bottom further on back. We'll see how that plays out, but we go like this. Cam Barnes and Jesse Dalton, row number 1. DJ Harris, Sean Whitehill, row 2. Row 3, Trey Coleman and John Peterson. Then Cal Laval and Jag decide to take the bottom back there. We'll call them row 4 and 5. They get their own row. They're that special here.
Yeah, Jag certainly is special. Up front,
no.
Cam Barnes leads the way. Here we come into the Micah restart zone. Hang on, and away we go. 5 laps to go in the LCQ.
And remember that 2 car, no second gear, so it took him a while to get up through those gears. He's going to slide back into 5th. When he gets boxed in behind the 8 of Sean Whitehill, that's going to allow this 66. Oh, we got contact!
Contact to keep it together, though. That's probably not going to bring out a yellow. We stay green.
I think that's going to be all she wrote if we don't get another yellow for that 12 car, Cal Laval and the 8 of Trey Coleman. But up front, the battle's on for second. DJ Harris up to the inside of Jesse Dalton.
These guys have got to be more careful, Joe. They don't want to get into each other and get both of themselves out of these spots. It's really important if they get single file again. They can't be racing like that.
Well, you're both in a transfer spot. Oh, buddy, no.
They got away with that one right there. That was, yes, too close, too close.
How many laps to go, Tommy?
Just a few, about 3 or 2. I don't know.
So confused.
DJ Harris hangs on to that second spot. Cam Barnes is gone. He's in another zip code right now. He's no longer in Knoxville, Iowa. He is in the next state over. He is in Ohio because right now he's looking very good in the LCQ up front. But behind him, the battle is on for that transfer spot in 3rd. Sean Whitehill trying to track down Jesse Dalton with John Peterson right behind them. And just a couple laps to do it.
Yeah, Whitehill really strong through 1 and 2. He keeps trying to get to the inside, but Dalton blocking him going into the corner. You got to be careful about that. Dalton! Oh, comes around!
He spins it!
John Whitehill comes off turn 4. He's in 3rd, and he's going to get the spot because I think that's it, Tommy. Holy crap!
Unbelievable. Sean Whitehill in the final turn. Jesse Dalton was so close. Oh my goodness gracious, but Sean Whitehill.
He's doing burnouts.
He burns it down. He will make it into the main event.
Way to go, Sean. Made all Team Tolansky proud.
So your 3 that are advancing to the main are Cam Barnes, DJ Harris, and the number 2 of Sean Whitehill. They round out their field of 15. The cars that did not make it, John Peterson in the 49, Cal Lovell in the 12 car. Joe, that is a shocker.
Yeah, that's a big
Trey
one.
Coleman in the 8, Jesse Dalton in the 99, Alex Sufer in the 24, and Tim Kunkel in the 81.
Wow, wow, wow. A little look at the game there. Oh boy. All right, so Tommy, what's going on right now? You got a word with officials?
Yeah, Joe, we're going to have a few minutes here right before everything. We got, about 3 minutes here to run through the starting lineup, make sure the officials have got everything correctly. They will then pass that information along to us, and we will announce it to tell you who is lining up where in our field of 15.
Well, Bristol coming into the studios, he's, hitting me on the little earpiece. He's saying, if you like what you see, we were completely enthralled by the racing action. We lost track of how many laps were to go because these guys were racing so well. Make sure you hit that like button. It's free to do. It really helps us out here at JTN. It helps with the old YouTube algorithm that nobody likes. It helps us, and we would really appreciate it if you hit that like button. You can also, if you haven't already, hit subscribe to JTN. We got all kinds of great racing action coming up here. We'll get you that upcoming schedule in just a second. Looks like we got random pit boxes. Get everything reset. Getting ready to go main event racing, Tommy, but there's the upcoming races here on JTN. Next race is the throwback race next Saturday night for the USORL. So you watch your ARCA race at about 1 o'clock Eastern. Then you watch your Xfinity race about 5 o'clock Eastern, both from Daytona. And then you get to go up to Atlanta 1997. You come here 10:40 p.m. Eastern Time, USORL Cup Series throwback racing. Then you go, well, you just had the Daytona 500 on a Sunday. On Valentine's Day, you might be in the doghouse because maybe you watched the race instead of, took care of the old boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever.
The old ball and chain, Joe.
Oh, man, old ball and chain. Well, you come back here to JTN. We got you covered. We'll take you in. 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time, TMP Cup Series at Homestead. And that TMP Racing League, they're looking for drivers right now. You can head over to their Facebook page to find out more about how to get involved with that league. But Monday night, 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time for a great race at Homestead. Then the next night, Hobo Cup Series. We got opening week from Hobo at Daytona with the Cup Series on the 16th. Mods at Richmond on the 18th. And Tommy, we round off that weekend. The following weekend, that Sunday night, 8:50 p.m. with the Truck Series from Daytona. A great slate of upcoming races here on JTN.
Mention that throwback next week there at Atlanta. Expect a little bit of a fun throwback event there for Tommy's World. You're not going to want to miss it. Definitely tune in for that here, right here on JTN.
You got a lot of great races, folks, and you do not want to miss them. So again, hit the subscribe button. We're almost to 450 subscribers. I want to get there by tonight. I really want to get there. So if you have already subscribed, share the video with your friends. Tell them to subscribe to us here at JTN. We provide the best NR 2003 live racing broadcast, I think, and that's unbiased, of course, Tommy. And if you want your league broadcast here on JTN, you can head over to our Facebook page, send us a message on there, and we will get in touch and talk to you about what steps you need to take to get racing with us here at JTN on JTN.
We're a broadcast partner out here in our 2003 land as Tommy's World.
That's what I'm saying.
Joseph.
Shh. Who else? What other broadcaster at Sim Racing NR 2003 has a whole podcast dedicated to racing? Call it the Fake Racers Podcast. No one else, Tommy. No one else has Tommy's World. No one else has the FRP. My mind's just boggled that we don't have more racing here.
Built different, Joe. We're built different. Okay, well, here we go to our main event. 15 drivers will take the field here at Knoxville for Dirt Glory. These guys' cars at the end of this race are not going to look clean, but make no mistake, that's how it's supposed to be down here. We're going to have some beating, banging, dust flying, Joe. It's going to be a good old time tonight.
Well, and remember, I'm going to take you through your starting lineup right here. These guys, they're going to take a lap to get everything sorted, so we'll let them do that as I take you through your starting lineup. On row number 1, it's going to be Noah Joyce in that 3 car, and Ray Tustin in the 18. Row 2, Jack Healy, Antonio Ruiz, so our other 2 winners from our heats. Row number 3, Davey Hazard in 75, and Austin Spencer in the 13. Row number 4, Garrett Sidner in the 16 Crunchyroll Machine, and Zach Kristowski in the number 1 Nickelodeon car. Row number 5, it's going to be the 55 of Mikey Murata and the 42 of William Page. Both guys that, oh boy, they're fast here on these dirt tracks. Row 6.
Drivers, start your engines!
As you hear the command to fire up the engines. Although it looks like we reset, Tommy.
Drivers, to your cars.
I'll keep taking you through the starting lineup. What were we? Row 6, Ricky Collette in the 98 TWB machine. Garrett Ingram in the 23 STP machine. Row number 7, the 7 of Cam Barnes. And then the 66 of DJ Harris transferring in from our LCQ. And the shock, surprise, last lap final qualifier into our main event for the night. Sean Whitehill in the number 2 PPG machine will round out the field. Sounds like that 98 TWB machine had some issues. He's getting back into the server right now, Tommy. That's not an indication of TWB, is it?
But not at all, Joe. They're completely independent from what we do.
But I mean, that car that Weaver sets up every week for Tommy's World, it's fantastic.
Rocket ship. One of these days, Joe, I had to bring it out during a race and just see how many laps they got. You know, I'm talking about back when they filmed, Days of Thunder out there. They had some movie cars out there.
Yeah.
Kind of the same deal. Maybe I ought to do that one of these days.
Hey, get some more airtime for that beautiful TWB sponsorship. Thanks to TWB and GardenLightsDirect.com for being part of this broadcast tonight. So pace car makes its way down pit road. Again, we're going to take a lap here to get everyone sorted into the right positions after the heat races. I took you through that lineup, so if you don't remember it, well, you'll see it here in a couple seconds. I know seeing is believing for many folks. Looks like we're struggling to get lined up. Guys are going everywhere. This is fun.
Looks like we got it up front at least, Joe, here. Ray Tustin and Noah Joyce making up that front row with Jack Healy and Antonio Ruiz behind them. Those four were very fast in their respective heats, so Joe, it's going to be a very competitive night up front, especially with some guys that we don't usually see up there. Noah Joyce, Ray Tustin, and Antonio Ruiz.
Well, coming through turns 3 and 4, we're going to get this speed kicked up a little bit. Get ready to go racing. Noah Joyce, Ray Tustin, row 1 winners. Qualified 1-2. They're 1-2 in the main. Here we go into the micro restart zone. Green flag. We're racing from Knoxville.
Well, we finally made it, Joe. 15 cars here tonight. Already Noah Joyce out to a good lead there, using that advantage on the bottom lane to get him going. Meanwhile, Ray Tustin up high, slipping backwards.
And Jack Healy moves up into second. Davey Hazard to third. And Garrett Sidner now looking for that 4th spot. He gets it.
Sort of at the back of his heat, Joe. I believe that was heat number 3 that 16 team was in. And man, he had some work to do, but he got up to a transfer spot, and now he's showing his real pace out here on the racetrack.
Michael Murata up into the 6th spot. Further on back, battle between the 42, William Page, Ricky Collette in the 98 for position. And Mikey Murata, I'm looking up out the window, Tommy. He's starting to rip that top.
Not afraid to be a little bit adventurous here on the dirt tracks. Michael is one of the better dirt track racers here in NR 2003. Hopefully everything gets put together for that 55 car this time around in the main event, as it did in the heat number 1.
He gets back to the bottom there quick, though. Doesn't look like that top's working right now. William Page trying to make it work farther on back for positions. Our top 6 are all single file.
Yeah, single file, but Joe, that 77 of Jack Healy closing in on that 3 car, Noah Joyce right now. Let me tell you, that Levi's Gene Machine doing a good job. Oh, gets a little loose down there.
And Garrett Sidner to the inside of Davey Hazard. Davey trying to make that outside work. Remember, he's got 4 wins on the season, so he can experiment a little bit here early on in this race.
Well, plenty of time, Joe, too, as well, to just try stuff out and, see what might work for later in the event. Now, I mentioned Davey Hazard's won the last 2 events here at Knoxville, so that 75 team knows what to do. Oh, he sends it into the 77. A little bit of contact, but he keeps it together. Oh my, Joe, we might see more of that all night long, I think.
And Davey was not afraid to send it to the inside there. Wonder if Healy gets back to him, if he'll repay the favor. Maybe not so careful, Tommy, of giving him room, but that moves that 75 car up into second. Zach Krastowski's parked on the racetrack. Big hit for the 1. We stay green. that going, but that one car looks totaled. Yeah, smoke billowing out right now, Tommy. I think that's the night ender for this one team, is Zach Krastowski.
Yeah, it really is disappointing. That pit crew making it in to the race tonight, not even through the LCQ, that was through their normal heat event. Just that one car trying to limp back to pit road and stay out of everybody's way.
Davey Hazard looks to the inside of Noah Joyce. Noah trying to make that outside work. Hazard takes the lead. Garrett Sidner following him through for second.
But I'll tell you what, that shoe car of Davey Hazard, it's become pretty iconic here in recent weeks on JTN. Winning a couple races and spending a lot of time on the TV. 75 teams definitely got it dialed in here tonight, too.
Now our ticker has the right number of laps up on it. 101, racing to lap 101 here. Hazard out front, Sidner second. Healy moves up into third. Those Toyotas are fast. Ruiz around off of turn 4.
Right in front of the leaders, Joe, but looks like he's out of the way, at least for now. And we stay green. It is Toyota, Chevy, Toyota in the top 5. Ford's struggling just a little bit here, Joe. Got to go back to 7th place for Austin Spencer in the 13 to find the first one of those.
Well, there's 4 Fords in this event. There's a lot of Toyotas and... Oh, Tommy, I think there's 3 Chevys, so... Or 4 Chevys, rather. But not a very even split of cars in this main event. And that just shows you how those Toyota teams are so much better than these Chevys and Fords here on the dirt.
We see a couple less Toyotas out there now that IPA has switched over to Chevrolets, so perhaps the Toyota dominance will dwindle a little bit, but by the looks of things so far, Joe, not too much.
They're coming up on lap traffic. Darren Ingram in the 23. Let's see how Davey navigates this. This is first time coming up on lap traffic at speed.
Always going to be tricky to navigate, Joe. You just hope that those lap cars are courteous and move out of your way. You don't have to really fight for anything at this point. It's early on. They're already down. But I hope these guys just make it easy for these leaders.
And Darren gets out of the way, and Garrett Sidner catches him in a really bad spot coming off the corner. Further on back, Ray Tustin has moved up into 3rd. Noah Joyce 4th. Don't know what happened to the 77 at Healy. It looks like he probably spun out, Tommy, and he lost a lot of track position.
Watching him, Joe, we got a little loose out of 4 last time. Spun the car around, lost a lot of time, like you mentioned.
And further up, Davey Hazard puts William Page a lap down for the first time tonight. Garrett Sidner trying to follow through. Hazard kind of struggling with these guys a little bit. That's allowing the 16 of Sidner to close on in.
Yeah, that's going to be an advantage for, I think, the guy in second. You know, it happened, too, at the lights race on Monday when Noah Joyce was leading. When these drivers caught lap traffic, the leader really backed up to the rest of the field. So a good opportunity there for Garrett Sidner. Now we're 20 laps through this race, almost, Joe, just about 18 or so. Laps are taken by fast.
Further on back, William Page in that 42. He goes around in front, and again, it looks like guys starting to catch up. Ingram a lap down, but that's allowing Spencer in the 13 and Mikey Murata to catch 3rd and 4th. This 18 of Ray Tustin and the 3 of Noah Joyce.
I love that, Joe. That 13 of Austin Spencer. Hey, he won this lights race on Monday at this very same racetrack, so he's got some pretty decent speed in that car. The driver right in front of him, Noah Joyce, was leading that race for the majority of the way until the very end. So both those drivers who we typically may not see up front at a normal race day certainly have a big opportunity to show something here on dirt.
Well, and Tommy, something a little different tonight than a lot of other races. It's fixed setup. These guys aren't able to really tune on the cars to the same degree. Yeah, they can change the steering ratio. They can work on, work with some different settings outside of the game, but they don't have a lot to work with as they would during a typical race weekend.
What's your options to what you can do to the car, so you've got to adjust your driving. And we've mentioned the different types of driving that we're seeing tonight. Here you have Davey Hazard on his steering wheel, leading Garrett Sidner on a computer. Our pole sitter tonight was Noah Joyce on a controller. A lot of diversity there in the methods that these guys are using to get around the racetrack, and Joe, they seem to all be fast.
Well, I would hope Sidner's on a computer, Tommy. I think you meant to say on a keyboard. They're in second. I hope all these guys are on a computer, honestly. But
Well, speaking of Sidney, he's closed the gap a little bit now, Joe. It's down to 0.2 of a second.
well, and Tommy, tire wear isn't an issue, is it?
No, Joe, it's not going to be an issue. Fuel will be, though. We're going to have to pit at some point, and depending on how this race goes, we might see some green flag pit stops. Although, of course, a mid-race break at halfway will slow everything down and get everybody a chance to get their fuel and service as needed.
Well, is that halfway break, is that enough to get us to the end, or are we going to have to pit before halfway?
I don't know, Joe, but we'll
It's
definitely
tough.
find out in the first run. It's tough. Noah Joyce really struggled with his fuel in the lights race on Monday, of course, running out. I think they're going to be just fine. It shouldn't be an issue, but sometimes, the way fuel calculations work on dirt tracks can be a lot less than it actually thinks that you can make it. So we'll see, Joe. We'll see.
We will see for sure. Hazard moving up on that PPG paints. You have a great muted car with a bright rainbow car. It's a little contrasting there. Hazard trying to make his way around Whitehill. Our last transfer, and he does so, and Sidner also trying to do the same thing off of turn number 4. He does it. Or was that 2? No, that was 4. I got it right. Oh, boy. I'm getting dizzy, Tommy. I'm getting dizzy.
Well, yeah, this track definitely different compared to Pocono. Pocono, you pretty much know where you are on the track at all times. Track like Knoxville, tough to see, especially with all the dirt flying around.
Well, there you see our 2 leaders. So there's Davey Hazard. There's Garrett Sidnor, right? They're coming off of turn number 2. We stop the camera there, and I'll tell you when we get 3rd place, there he is, that bright pink car, Ray Tustin coming off the corner. That's 2nd, and then Noah Joyce behind him in 4th. So these top 2, Tommy, they are in a class of their own right now.
Oh, yeah, huge lead. And we've seen it before, Joe. I mean, these 2 were both in the Final Four last season at Homestead. So they're great drivers. They're with great teams. Of course, Garrett Sidnor is switching over to Games 1, 2, 3 Racing this season. So I would expect nothing less. I mean, these guys are the class of the field. Doesn't matter what kind of surface you're racing on. Could be asphalt, could be dirt, concrete, could even be ice. And I'm sure these 2 would find their way to the front of the field.
Now, do you think Davey knows how to drive on ice?
Florida, so I don't know, Joe. That's up for debate.
They put sand on the road down south when it snows. They put sand. Who puts sand on the road? You put sand on the road?
Well, we don't even need to, Joe.
Well, it's like dirt, I guess. Then maybe that's why he's so good here at these dirt tracks. Garrett's the same way. Garrett's the same way.
Actually, yeah, geographically, these 2 are actually closer than you think to each other. And I'm not just talking about on the racetrack.
Hazard still leads. Sidner in 2nd. We go farther on back. There's Ray Tustin, Noah Joyce again. The battle for 3rd. Kinda, we're racing in pairs of 2. There, you saw 3rd and 4th. Here's 5th and 6th. There's 7th, I believe, of Ricky Collette having a decent night in this TWB Technologies machine. And then farther back, there's Jack Healy and Cam Barnes. Again, a pair that our leaders are coming up on. These guys got to get this thing figured out, because here comes Davey Hazard.
It's really tough at these tracks, Joe, when you fall behind. It's not about dirt tracks. A normal track, maybe you spin out or you get loose, you lose some time. Doesn't mean that much. Oh, Healy getting loose out there. Out of 4, he's going to go a lap down. But especially on a dirt track, especially like Knoxville, man, I'm telling you what, you make one mistake and all of a sudden you're lapped. Just like this.
Well, and Tommy, you talked about it. It's going to come down to the guy that doesn't make any mistakes. And right now, knock on wood, of course, for them, Hazard and Sidner, they haven't made any mistakes in this race.
No, they've been awfully good, Joe. Awfully good. And we're almost 40 laps through this event so far, and I haven't seen them make a slip up at all, Joe. Done a great job starting a few rows back to take these top 2 positions. But I'll tell you what, Davey's really working hard on Cam Barnes. Cam does not want to give up that spot and go a lap down as we go by Darren Ingram there another time.
But we saw Davey not afraid to send it down to the corner. He did it there, moves that 7 up the track. And for a second there, it looked like Garrett was going to try to make his way around the 75. He thinks Weiser gets in line. He's going to get by this 7 to Barnes.
Yeah, a little bit of beating and banging right there. Davey said, "No, give me this spot. Stop messing around here." And right now, that 75 car putting a lot of cars a lap down. Joe, of this 15-car field, about half of them now are a lap down. Only 7 cars remain, and they'll be lapped.
That's crazy, and it just shows you You know, normally in a race, we don't see this many guys going a lap down. You want to know why that is, Tommy?
Why is that, Joe?
Because this track is so much more challenging. You have to be so consistent with your driving on dirt tracks. Whereas, you know, on an oval, I think there's a little wider room for error for these drivers, and it's a different challenge. Again, we talked about it. It's the first dirt race for us here at JTN. But for these drivers, this is the only time all season long they're going to race on the dirt, and it's showing, you know, the guys that are always good and consistent on the ovals, they're good here because that's the key to winning. That's the key to being good at Knoxville on a dirt track. Consistency, consistency, consistency.
That's right, Joe, the three C's. And something else to mention, too. We talked about how difficult this track was going to be tonight, the lack of grip out here. And more, when you face a driver with a scenario like that, lack of grip out there, they're going to whinge, they're going to complain, they're going to throw their arms in the air and say, I can't do it, but you know what, Joe, you put the green flag in front of them and you say, you got to go. Well, they're going to figure it out. The best of the best, you know, the cream always floats to the top. And right here, right now, you're seeing it. Davey Hazard out front, Garrett Sidnall right behind him.
And again, these guys, they didn't win their heat races, Tommy. You want to know why?
Why is that, Joe?
10 laps it's really easy to not make a mistake in 10 laps. It's a little bit more difficult to not make a mistake in 20 laps. In 30 laps, it's really hard. In 40 laps, it's almost impossible. In 50, forget about it. Hazard, Sidner haven't made a mistake today. Now they're both going to probably spin in this set of corners, aren't they?
I hope not, Joe, because they're putting on a good show. They're staying close to each other. Hazard's pulled away a little bit from the 16 of Sidner, but so far everything's being kept together pretty nicely. Looks like that 98 of Ricky Collette might be our first car a lap down when we go under yellow in a few laps for a halfway break. So far it's hanging on there. William Page right in front of him, but he's already a lap down.
Doesn't seem like that mesh there on the front of that 98 car is helping him as much as I thought it would.
Well, he's at least only going a lap down now, Joe, so not a terrible pace out of that 98 team. Hopefully they can readjust in the second half, possibly get the lucky dog here and get back onto the lead lap.
Seems like one more time around here, so he's just got to hold on. But Hazard coming through 3 and 4. We're coming to our halfway break here at Knoxville. We're going to watch this battle for the lucky dog coming off of turn 4. Ricky's going to get it. Cam Barnes won't, and that's our first yellow of the night for the halfway break.
Well, Joe, we ran about the last 40 laps with the same first and second place cars. Something significant about that, Joe. These two were also running 1-2, just the opposite way around for many, many laps in the closing stages of the race here at Knoxville last season. But it was Garrett Sidnall that spun under the intense pressure from Davey Hazard, who went on to victory. Tonight, Joe, perhaps an opportunity for some redemption for that 16 team.
Well, these guys all coming down pit road now, Tommy, and this is our halfway break. Sponsored by the TMP Racing League. You can go to the link in the description now for the TMP Racing League Facebook page. You can go to their Facebook page, message them about how to get involved. Monday night racing. You got to have a wheel, folks, to race at TMP Monday nights with select races broadcast right here on JTN. So go over there, contact them if you want to get some great racing. You got cup racing. You got cup racing. You got short track, late model racing. You got it all at the TMP Racing League, and you go check them out. Linked to their Facebook page below to find out more about how to get racing with the TMP Racing League. That was your TMP Racing League halfway. Cars coming off pit road, Tommy. These laps, they're going to count in this event. So we're, again, racing to 101. Laps at the halfway break, they're going to count towards the total. Hazard, Sidner, Tustin, Noah Joyce, your top 4. Mikey Murata there in 5th.
Yeah, Mikey did a great job making his way up through the field during that first green flag run there, first half of the race. I'm telling you, watch that 55 car. If he gets a chance at this victory, he's going to go for it, let me tell you.
And I really want Mikey to have a chance. He's been worried about points so much. It's going to be a good points night for this 55 team. A couple guys in front of him didn't make it into this event, so it's been a close points race all season long here in the USORL. I think, you know, this might be the night that this 55 team needed to swing things in their direction.
Oh, come on, Joe. They've got a ways to go yet here, but it's definitely going to help them a lot in points. In the points battle to look at here, Cal Loval was the points leader, the first car without a win, I should say, on the playoff grid. But after missing tonight's main event, that's going to impact his points situation quite a bit.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, it's a lot. You're losing a lot of points to these guys that are in the event, no doubt. And, well, we'll just have to see how it shakes out. Davey Hazard, Garrett Sidner, row 1. Row 2, Ray Tustin, Mikey Murata. Row 3, Noah Joyce, Cam Barnes with row 4. 13 of Austin Spencer, who's ahead of Cam Barnes, as Barnes again a lap down. And then to his outside, Sean Whitehill. Here we go, into the Mico restart zone. Green flag, we're back racing from Knoxville.
Good start there for Garrett Sidnor. He's able to slot in front of Ray Tustin and hang on to that second spot. Meanwhile, Michael Murata trying to hang around on that outside line. We've seen him up there before, Joe, and right now he's trying to make it work up there.
Oh no, Mikey! Really loose. That's going to allow Noah Joyce to pounce for position. He gets by on the inside. Austin Spencer now looking to do the same. Can't get it done off of 4. Or 2, rather.
He's gonna look to take... I thought he was going to take the inside. Oh, we have
Oh,
problems.
no!
Didn't go around.
Oh, and there's contact farther back. And we're under yellow. We're under yellow.
We're under yellow.
Oh, no.
I had some implications right there, Joe. That was our second place driver, Garrett Sidnor, a couple other cars involved. Brings out our first yellow that wasn't the halfway break here in the main event. That's going to allow Cam Barnes to get back onto the lead lap.
And Tommy, that car just over-rotates going down into that corner. Then you saw the contact, Darren Ingram, Antonio Ruiz farther back. That car just over-rotates on him, and he wasn't able to collect it back up. Tough break. That's tough.
The driver who had a tough break was in the last chance qualifier. Jesse Dalton was just a corner away from making it into this main event. Didn't make it. Spoke to him earlier. He said, "I'm sad and it hurts a lot." Obviously a lot of frustration and pain there for the number 99 team.
What is that? Tommy, I mean, speak about that a little bit more. What that pain is, right? It's different, right? It's different because you had the shot, and you know, to either his fault, the track. I mean, it's weird here, right? It's dirt. We talked about it. Lack of grip. Everyone's struggling. To have the transfer kind of ripped away from you all of a sudden, it's a shocked feeling too, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's one thing if maybe he spun out earlier and he was already out of it, but to be that close to being able to make it in and then giving it up right at the end there, yeah, that's what really hurts a lot, just how close he was. Well, here we are. We're going to be choosing now. Looks like Noah Joyce is going to follow Davey Hazard on the low line, while Michael Murata chooses that outside line. We've seen him up there, kind of like one of his favorites, Kyle Strickler, the high side takeaway. The 55 up there now.
Well, we'll see what Mikey can do up there in the FVP Dirt Derby here for the USORL Racing League. Davey Hazard, Mikey Murata, row 1, Noah Joyce, Ricky Collette, row number 2, Ray Tustin, Garrett Sidner, row 3. And then Austin Spencer, second to last car on the lead lap up there in 7th. Here we go into the Mico restart zone. Green flag, we're back racing from Knoxville, and not a good restart for the 55. Oh, and he's going around. Oh, no, you can't do it, Mikey.
Cars
Oh,
everywhere.
no. That's going to bring out a yellow. Oh, no.
Oh, poor Michael. I mean, he was running good, too. Just got off on the wrong foot on that restart, Joe, and it just went from bad to worse for him.
Well, from the helicopter cam, you see them go into the Myco restart zone. Mikey can't. Hazard just gets a great jump on the restart again. That leader controls it, and then car just over-rotates on him, Tommy, and oh my goodness. Oh no, Michael, you can't do that, Michael. You can't. Can't.
And, I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that, Joe, tonight in this main event because it's well, at least on camera, I'm sure it's happened throughout the field, but up front like that, been pretty fortunate that we haven't had any huge incidents, but man, tough break there for that 55 team, as well as the 16 of Garrett Sidnor, who was back in the pack after a spin to bring out the last caution we had, and now he's got some work to do if he wants to make his way back up front and challenge Davey Hazard.
Oh, we'll see what happens here. Hazard out front, Joyce and Austin Spencer, your top three. It looks like Joyce might have had his game crash. Oh, no. Oh, no, he's got it back. Minimized, probably. Minimized.
Boy. Scary times, Joe. Scary times. I mean, that was what really... I can't say it took him completely out of contention because they at least had the LCQ to try to get in with, but man, Cal Lovell also experiencing some game crash issues, too. Watch it out there, Joe. Very sketchy times sometimes.
Well, and for Cal, like we talked about, that's big for the points.
That is big for the points on this, Joe. Almost 18-year-old game. It is over 18 years old now, Joe.
You're right. It was NR's birthday this last week. It was also the birthday of a few friends of the booth, Tommy.
That's right, Joe. William Page and Charles Couts. Happy birthday to them, too. Young men out there making one more orbit around our sun.
That's always good when you make that extra orbit.
Indeed. Hey, up front, a new face. Ricky Coletti's taking the outside line. Didn't work for Michael Murata. We'll see if it works for this 98 TWB machine.
Well, and remember, Ricky's on a controller, not used to being on a controller. We'll see how that plays out on a restart.
Yeah, somebody's got to have some for Davey Hazard here. We'll see if Ricky has it.
Here we go, coming off of turn number 4. Hazard with control to restart. Colette to his outside, down into the Myco restart zone. Green flag, we're back underway from Knoxville.
Well, a little bit better for the outside line, but Ricky blinking and warping all over the joint there.
Oh, no.
He's already moving around a lot because it's dirt.
Oh!
Us cars around him are not going to be happy, Joe.
John Whitehill around further on back, and Micah Murata's ripping the top again, Tommy.
There he is, no surprise. Hopefully he can hang on up there, though.
Battle's on for third. Oh my goodness, we were 3 wide for a second there for third. Everything thinning out from the helicopter camera. What a great shot we get here at Knoxville from the helicopter. 3 wide for fourth. And Mikey made it work. Oh no.
Michael.
No,
Almost
Michael.
gets across Ray Tustin.
Oh, he had it.
Keeps it together. We'll move Ray Tustin into fourth outright. Now here comes Garrison trying to make his way up from the back of the field.
Oh, and Ricky Colette's around. Contact.
Oh.
That's going to bring out a yellow.
Indeed. Yellow is out. Noah Joyce, through all that, Joe, made his way up to second place. 2 gray cars at the top of this field.
Well, here it is again. Ricky goes down into 3 and 4, and again, he just hits that slick spot. Goes around, and then these guys know where to go. Cam Barnes probably got the worst of that, piling into the left side, driver's side of that 98 car. Nowhere to go for Cam. Well, Tommy, we've been on a string of cautions here. It's getting a little wrecky as we get to the end of this race.
That was a very clean and green first half of this race, but I think, Joe, as these cars got grouped back together after that yellow for the midway break, everybody kind of getting closer to each other, the intensity picking up too, Joe. We're winding down on this race, just about 30 laps to go here, Joe. 31 to be exact, so we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Whether we like it or not, these guys have got to make moves.
Well, Tommy, it's getting very interesting, Tommy. I'm wondering what Davey Hazard out front, Tommy, is going to do here. If he's going to continue to control these restarts, Tommy. What do you think, Tommy?
Joe, we're just going to be interested to see what happens here, Joe. Davey, of course, in front of the 75 car. That's Davey Hazard up there. And Joe, should be pretty exciting here, Joe.
And Tommy, I'm grinning ear to ear right now because we have some great sponsors, Tommy. Why don't you tell them about your favorite sponsor, Tommy? TWB, Tommy.
Well, that's right, Joe. TWB, let me tell you, this company's been around forever. TWB, together we're better, for products and services from a brand you can trust. It's TWB. And up front here, Joe, just like you should choose TWB for all your products and services, choose the right lane here. Mike and Murata going to the outside once again.
Mike, he saw that outside. He said, I want another crack at it. So we'll see what this 55 car Mikey Murata can do. He's starting second on this restart. Hazard again with control of it. We'll see what happens. Noah Joyce decides to take the inside again here on this restart. That 3 car really confident in the bottom here on these restarts. Hazard, Murata, row number 1. Let's see how it goes as we transition into the Myco restart zone. Hazard's going to take it. Boy, green flag back out at Knoxville. And again, a bad restart for that 55.
Not too bad, but he got a push there from the 16 of Garrett Sidner behind him. Able to hang on to that outside line. Barely, though. Hey, William Page, another guy who's explored that top line right behind that 55 of Murata. Ooh, a lot of cars wide here out of 4. Couple tap the outside wall, but we stay green for now.
That was a gaggle there. It's still a gaggle. 4th on back right now, and they're watching that 75 get smaller and smaller out the front.
Meanwhile, Mike Murata has made his way down to the inside. He's going to try and get around Noah Joyce for second place. That 55 car, Joe, now that he has his footing, is going to be trying to be on the move there. William Page hanging tough on the outside. Actually doing a great job there. Ahead of Michael that time around the backstretch.
Yeah, William Page looks like he's found something out there with that 42 1+ Chevy Camaro. He makes the pass for 3rd, so move the 42 up a spot, and Mikey now goes back to the top.
Yeah, talking with Davey Hatcher earlier on, he thought we might see some guys go up there, make some moves. It looks like it's possible here, Joe. Later in the going, just about 25 laps to go.
Well, and tire wear isn't the issue, right? Why is that top line coming in? Because, again, it's a video game, right? It's NR. It's not a video game. It's my life. It's a sim. Anyways, it's NR, right? It's not like the track is dynamic in any way. So why are these guys going up top now?
Well, it could be a couple different things, Joe, but I think one of them might be these guys who have tried the top all night long. They've been exploring up there. They've been trying to find the right groove up there to make things work, and I think William Page has found it. It's just between, I think, a little bit of that darker stuff up top versus where that groove is in the middle of the track that you can see. They're making it work down there. The car's rotating well, and they seem to be in control. Oh, although Michael Murata pancakes the outside wall out of 4.
Yeah, great view of it right here of what William Page's line is right now from the helicopter cam. Again, a great helicopter cam tonight here at Knoxville. He's just, like you said, Tommy, he's got that left front tire kind of riding that darker spot line on the track, but other than that, the rest of the car all hung out. He's really able to rotate that car through the center, and he's going to make the pass on Noah Joyce for 2nd on the high side.
Boy, and seeing all that dirt fly up behind him, it's cinematic almost, especially from that helicopter cam to see what that 42 car is doing. But now, the real test, can he track down Davey Hazard and take away that first position nobody has yet in that 75 car up to almost a 2.5 out in front?
Well, one guy we thought could do it, it's this 16 of Garrett Sidner on the bottom right now, trying to make the pass for 3rd, and don't look now, Tommy. He sends it down into turn 1 and looks to make the pass for 2nd.
Oh, yeah, he wants to be back up there. He wants that shot at the win that he didn't have last year at the very end of the race after he spun. He wants redemption, and that 16 car is on a mission, side by side with William Page in the 42. These guys are really racing hard now, Joe. We're coming down to the final few laps here. Just about, 18 to go.
And they got to start pushing now because, again, Hazard is just continuing to extend his lead, putting great laps down right now, Tommy. And, oh, boy, Garrett Sidner, William Page, these guys, they got to figure it out.
Yeah, over a 2-second advantage now for Hazard up front, Joe. Pre-race, we talked about who we think might have a shot at this. And, well, we mentioned Davey Hazard because clearly, Joe, it's not too often he makes mistakes behind the wheel. William Page now gets around for 2nd place. Put the 16 back to 3rd. Ray Tustin taking a look on his teammate now.
Well, and what a night for Ray Tustin, the 18. Not always the guy up front, Tommy, and oh boy, games 1, 2, 3 racing. They got to be really proud of this 18 crew tonight.
Well, they certainly do. It's going to be good for the points. Ray Tustin right behind Michael Murata on the outside looking in, going into this race on the playoff grid. There's going to be a lot of point shakeups after this one, Joe. I can assure you of that.
Garrett Sidner slides up in front of William Page off of 4, gets that move done, so move the 16 back out to second.
Yeah, finally through the 42. Now the 42 got out of shape right there in turn number 2. So it's going to be Garrett Sidner in second place, but with just
contact! They kept them straight!
Oh my goodness. Incredible driving there to keep it straight. I thought those two were definitely wrecking.
Have you ever?
There. A few times, but not very many, Joe.
My goodness, so move Ray Tustin up into 3rd spot. William Page back to 4th. This 42 car starting to fall back. Oh, he's at the wall!
Oh man, no choice.
Oh, he's going around. He's going around. Mikey gets by it. Oh, no!
Oh my goodness, that's got to bring out the yellow, Joe.
Oh,
And it
no.
does.
Let's get you a replay, but you saw what happened. Here it is, going down into the corner. We're getting crazy at the end of this race. Page goes around. Noah Joyce, Mikey Murata miss him, but then Austin Spencer and Ricky Collette, not as fortunate, can't make their way around, get into that mess there, and that brings out, what is it, our 4th yellow of the evening.
Man, William Page, it was looking like he'd figured something out on the high side, but slipped back a little, made a couple mistakes, and all of a sudden, in the jaws of the monster.
Well, and Tommy, I know it's a little bit past it, but it was our TWB 10 to go.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. Joe, on behalf of TWB, I'd like to broadcast to you Garden Lights Direct from porches, patios, and more. For all your outdoor lighting needs, visit GardenLightsDirect.com. That's GardenLightsDirect.com. GardenLightsDirect.com. Once again, that's GardenLightsDirect.com for your outdoor lighting needs.
That was our TWB 10 to go here at Knoxville. I guess that was 10 to go, because I forgot we're going to 101, not 100, so good job, us. Good job, us. Yeah.
Indeed. So now put that at 9 laps to go, so we might have about 7 or 8 laps to go once these guys get lined up and go take the green flag again.
Things are going to get crazy.
I'll tell you what, we're going to have a good finish here, Joe, at the end here. A couple laps to go, field bunched up again, it's going to get wild.
It's going to get wild, and make sure if you like what you're seeing, you hit that like button here on JTN. Hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I don't know why you wouldn't be if you're watching. This is a fantastic freaking race right now, and I want to say a different word, but I'm going to hold to my broadcaster's code and whatever. But a fantastic race here from Knoxville. Hazard out front. Garrett Sidner's going to line up to his outside. Ray Tustin, Mikey Murata make up row 2. Row 3, Noah Joyce, Jack Healy.
So it's going to be just 7 laps to go. We're going to get the green flag waving once again. Davey on the inside, Sidnor on the outside. These two have been out front almost all night long. Here we go to the Michael restart zone. Green flag is out. Hazard gets a good restart.
And Hazard again with control to restart. It really helps, but Sidner able to get down to the bottom. He's going to be hunting the back bumper of this 75.
How hard Sidnor pushes the back bumper of Davey. Remember last season, that 16 car was in the opposite position and spun, giving Davey Hazard the victory. Back a couple car lengths is Michael Murata hanging on in 3rd. He'd love a good finish here for the points battle.
Yeah, and they're 3 wide for that spot. Mikey gonna slide up. William Page now to his outside. We watch this battle for a second, but we go back to the battle for the lead. Sidner hunting that left rear quarter of Davey Hazard.
It was all back up. There's 5 laps to go. Time is ticking for Sidnor right there. Time is ticking.
That is for sure right now. Coming to 4 laps to go. Hazard still out front. Guys battling for the 3rd spot in the wall, but we're going to maintain up here towards the lead. It looks like Mikey Murata might have lost that 3rd spot, Tommy.
Oh, and that's brutal. He's fallen back to 8th last time by Joe. F55 car was looking like he was going to have a great finish. Now it looks like, well, not so much. 3 laps to go.
3 laps to go in this one. Sidner trying to switch up last season's finishing order, trying to get around this 75 at Davey Hazard. He's going to have 4 more corners to get it done. 2 laps to go from Knoxville.
He approached turn 3 a little bit different than Davey last time, Joe. Coming off of 2, he was a little bit higher. And turn 3, he was a little bit lower than Davey. I think it'll work for him. He's got to get to that 75 bumper a little bit. It's going to be close here. Coming to the white flag, this time by 1 lap to go.
1 final lap from Knoxville. Hazard out front, Sidner in second. Sidner trying to find a way around this 75. 1 final time through turns 3 and 4. Sidner sends it down into the center of the corner, Tommy, but it's not going to be enough. Davey Hazard wins it.
Oh my goodness, Joe. What a finish. Wow. Well, what a race right there. It was Davey Hazard with the victory. Sidner was oh so close, Joe. Maybe 1 more lap and he would have had it. My goodness, what a finish.
And Davey Hazard makes it win number 5 on the season. 3rd in a row for Davey. I mean, that is just, oh my goodness. He's got a great team behind him right now.
Yeah, his 5th win on the season. Well far and away of anybody else's next win total. That shoe car is flying these days, Joe. How about that 75 team?
He burns it down here from Knoxville. Davey Hazard, your winner. Yeah, that shoe, he is definitely got it on the right foot right now, Tommy.
Most certainly, and he's got that right foot planted on the gas pedal. Burning it down as well as you can at a dirt track here.
He's just slipping and sliding right now, but Hazard wins it. He's going to go park it by that Toyota banner. Nope, never mind. PRD Performance wins it on the dirt track with every other series, now wins it with the Cup car at Knoxville. Well, Tommy, we'll move on to our post-race results. We'll get you our main event results here in a second. But again, what a fantastic race. You couldn't ask for more. You had... Throughout the night, you had drama, you had excitement, you had it all here from Knoxville.
We had a first half of the race that really, Joe, seemed pretty tame. Not a whole lot of guys that were running into issues between each other, so we stayed green for that whole first half. But later on, when cars got back closer together, intensity picked up. We saw some cars flying through the air, rolling, flipping. But at the end of it all, it was Davey Hazard managing to hold on to victory just barely over a hard-charging Garrett Sidnor. And Ray Tustin, Joe, coming away with 3rd. Congratulations to Ray. He's going to be in the booth.
What a fantastic finish for Ray. Just a lot of great momentum that he can get rolling here.
Yeah, huge points day for that team. Also won their respective heat race as well, Joe.
A lot of solid momentum for the 18. We'll be getting him up here in the booth first, I believe, correct?
We will, Joe. In just a few moments, we're going to bring him in.
Fantastic. Oh, well, Tommy's getting, making his contacts. Bristol's getting everything wired up. I'd like to, again, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. What a fantastic night of events. Make sure if you haven't already, you hit the subscribe button, hit like on the video. And when you subscribe, folks, you get notifications when we go live. That's a great way to stay up to date with us here at JTN, but I forgot to mention throughout the broadcast, Tommy, you can go to our Twitter, give us a follow there. We post on race days. And you can go to our Facebook, give us a like on our Facebook page, follow our Facebook page to get more information about when we go live. You can also see all the different leagues we're running. You can see a great catalog of posts. Just a lot of fun we like to have here at JTN. And Tommy, it is, oh man, it's a great time to be alive here at JTN.
It is, and it's also a great time to be Ray Tustin. Here he is in the booth, our 3rd place finisher tonight. Congratulations, Ray.
Thank you very much. It's so amazing to finally join y'all after a race. I knew coming here to Knoxville, Iowa, this was my shot at getting a decent finish. I hate it for Mikey.
Well, Ray, your night started out great with a phenomenal qualifying effort that puts you at the front of the field for heat number 2, which you translated into a heat victory, and now a top 3 here tonight. It's a great points day. Talk about what that means to this whole 18 team.
Yeah, we were like fighting right on the edge of making it into the playoffs on points, and this should help as long as we don't get caught up in any other shenanigans at any other track.
Ray, you obviously have a big crew there with the game's 1, 2, 3 family. Garrett Sidnor in front of you tonight, finishing second. That's got to feel good for the team. Any sponsors you want to thank here tonight?
I'd like to thank everyone back at the shop and at my brand Ray Energy, all the flavors of Ray Energy, cherry limeade, orange citrus, green, sour green apple, strawberry lemonade, chiseled ice, peach mango, and cotton candy.
Well, Ray, again, thank you for joining us up here in the booth. Congratulations again on the third place finish and the heat win tonight. Put a fantastic race together for you and the whole 18 team, and good luck next week at Atlanta. I know you're going to be bringing a great throwback next week.
Mm-hmm. Next week, I alternate every season between Kyle Busch and Brennan Poole, and this season is going to be Brennan Poole, so look forward to that.
Well, we will keep our eye out. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you.
All right, well, that is Ray Tustin. He has made his way up into the JTN booth for the first time, and it's great to have him there. I'm sure he is very excited about that finish. And let me tell you, Joe, like you mentioned, great points day. They are kind of on the edge there of that points picture for the playoffs, which, Joe, are just a few weeks away, I suppose, now. So that's a big momentum boost for that 18 team.
Yeah, you want to have that momentum going forward, Tommy, and what a way to grab the momentum tonight. You win the heat race, you finish third, have a fantastic battle throughout the night, running up front all night long. That's got to feel really good, especially at a track that's challenging like Knoxville. Again, we talked about it. You have to be perfect almost to have a shot at getting a good finish here. And Ray and the whole 18 Ray Energy Machine crew, Toyota, you know, the rest, they did a great job tonight. And we move on, though, Tommy, to his teammate, a guy that's a veteran up here in the booth. It feels like he's starting to earn his stripes. You're going to bring Garrett Sidner, and here he is. Garrett Sidner, driver number 16, Crunchyroll Machine. Garrett, we can talk about the second place finish. I'm assuming it's probably a little disappointing for you, especially after the way last season's race ended here, too. You had a really strong shot, but what happened earlier on? You had the mistake where the car went around. Was that just, did it catch you by surprise, or was it something you kind of planned on happening throughout the race? I mean, you don't plan on spinning out, but you kind of thought maybe it would happen.
Yeah, I definitely was anticipating that moment to come around at some point in the night. Glad I got a chance to kind of redeem myself there in the end. But yeah, so every time I'd get up, if I didn't had a bad exit out of 2, I would arc it up going into 3. And that one particular time, I just kind of sent it a little too hard, and when you get the car just enough sideways, it loops around on you. So there's only so much I could do at that point. Just let off the gas and let it come around.
A good second place finish for you. Good for points, of course, but I know it's the win you really wanted tonight to get some redemption for last season's Knoxville race. Take us through those final couple laps after the last restart there, trying to track down Davey up front.
Man, I didn't even know if we were going to get that restart, but I was glad to get the opportunity to try. I really was just trying to keep with them there, and really the only thing I could do, because once we got running, the bottom was the place to be. You could make the highline work for about a lap or so, but you had to be on it to make it work, and I was particularly strong on the bottom. Davey, all he had to do was not miss the bottom and not make a mistake, and he did exactly that. And I wasn't going to try anything in 3 if he slowed up, or I didn't want to have a repeat of last season or any point last season that we've raced together. I just, yeah, it's annoying because it's another second place finish, but
right.
It's just one of those things. You gotta look at the bigger picture.
Well, Garrett, we saw Davey was willing to be the guy that was really aggressive going into the corner, taking every little bit of space. Be honest, though, you thought about it, right? You thought about maybe sending that nose a little bit deeper into the corner there at the end. It's okay. You thought about it, right? Come on, be honest. We like to be truthful here.
I'm being as truthful as I can. It's just, but really, that's all I really wanted to do. Is I was trying to keep it as close as I could, and really wanted to. If he had a mistake, I'd try my best to put my nose in there, but I wasn't going to force in a gap that wasn't there, and the outside wasn't going to work. So, I mean, yeah, I tried to get as close as back bumper as I could for those last couple of laps. Just trying to play a little mental game, but he was on it as usual. So.
Well, folks, I tried to get you a good soundbite there. Yeah. Garrett didn't bite, as he never bites. What a polite young man up here in the booth. But Garrett, before we let you go, anyone you want to shout out or thank, you know what to do.
Oh man, had a really good demonically inspired rim Toyota Camry tonight for games 1, 2, 3 racing with a Country Roll sponsorship as always. I'd like to thank Peach Ranch, Double Mint, M&M's, Dr. Pepper, all of the games 1, 2, 3 sponsors I have. This season, got a good string of races coming up for us. I'm looking forward to. Some of them might not be broadcasted, but hey, looking forward to seeing what we could do in the final stretch.
Well, Garrett, thank you so much, Garrett, for joining us up here in the booth. Congratulations on the second place finish, and good luck next week in Atlanta. Looking forward to seeing the throwback paint scheme.
Yeah, home track race for us. We'll see what we can do.
Hey, you got to go winning at the home track, right? Garrett's sitting there driving number 16 Crunchyroll Toyota. Thanks, bud.
No problem.
Tommy, we're going to go from second. We're going to go to the winner. And I mean, it's getting stale at this point talking to this guy that we're going to be talking to here in a second.
Well, you're the one that does the podcast with him.
I know. I got to talk to this guy every week. I don't want to talk to him again.
I'll tell you what, though, Joe, he is most deserving of it because he has been on an absolute tear lately. In the shoe machine, it's Davey Hazard, your winner tonight at Knoxville. Davey, how you feeling?
Good to be back in the booth, boys. How was the broadcast? How you guys doing?
Oh, it was fantastic, Davey. I'm just a little upset that we have to talk to you again. I mean, you're just stinking up the show right now, bud. Not led 91 laps tonight. How did that happen?
I can leave. You guys want me to leave?
No. I'm kidding. You know I'm kidding.
I know you're kidding, Joe.
Come on.
Come on.
But Davey, I mean, 91 laps out of the 101 tonight. How did that happen?
You know, it's kind of complicated, these dirt races on this game, because it's not really a good model of dirt. Noah did a great job with this track. He spent a lot of time on it, and I think the track was the closest to dirt that I've ever felt on this game. But at the end of the day, you still had this little thing in NR where the controllers and the keyboarders are the people who use a controller and a keyboard. They're going to be a little bit faster than the guys on a wheel, pure speed. But something you lose with a controller and a keyboard against a wheel is rhythm. And I don't think I was paying a little bit of attention to my times. I don't think I ran a time that wasn't between a 17.8 and an 18 flat the whole race under green. And so that was how that happened. Was I was able to keep a good rhythm. I was able to stay focused and just focused on, you know, what was going on out the windshield. My hands were doing the thing that they've been doing every single lap, and my feet were doing the thing they were doing every single lap. And it was just getting in that rhythm a little bit easier than those guys who don't have the wheel and pedals.
Well, you still made it work, and leading all those laps, you didn't start first in the main event, but you got there pretty quickly to pass Noah Joyce to get that lead. Davey, obviously a couple wins here for you in a row now, and it seems like you're pretty in a really comfortable position for the playoffs. Are you thinking that far ahead yet, or are you just thinking about the next race?
I'm going race to race. Last season when I wasn't quite as fast, I was thinking about the playoffs and like how I was going to get there, what the framework was going to look like for me to get to another championship. And I think that was my downfall throughout the season. This season I've been looking forward to every single race that's come across, even races where I felt like I was going to be bad, and races where I wasn't good in practice, etc. Yeah, each and everything I've been just taking my lumps when they come and then just making the most of it, and it has worked out so much. I've had so much confidence in all my cars this season. Coming into Pocono with no practice last week and getting the W, that was amazing. I am looking that far ahead. I'm excited for the playoffs, but I'm taking everything race by race either way.
Got that next game, next race mentality right now, and it's put him on a tear. Davey, we're going to ask you to thank the sponsors here in a second, but for us here at JTN, you and I, we do a fun little show, the Fake Racers podcast, and I want you to be the guy to tell everyone what we're doing this week for the show.
So this week, the plan is we're going to have a live stream during Daytona 500 qualifying where we kind of break down the qualifying, talk a little about it, talk about the drivers, talk about the stories, basically just kind of run through what the broadcast might be doing, but adding our own insight and our own views to it. It should be very fun. I know we have some other plans that we're going to work on soon, Joe, but that is the framework. I'm sure you probably have more ideas than I do. I've been thinking about it, but I know you're the brains right now, and you're doing a great job.
Brawn.
Yeah. You know me, big, strong, muscular guy.
But this Wednesday night, you're going to want to tune in. We'll have the time for you. I believe it's 7 o'clock. We're going to do it's going to be like our season preview for the podcast. We're going to talk about all the drivers as they're qualifying. We'll probably end up cutting it short of like what the actual broadcast goes for Fox's coverage of qualifying. We'll probably end up, hour and a half, hour 45. It'll be a fun show. It'll be a long show, but it'll be just like one of these race broadcasts right here on JTN. So you'll get the notification if you're subscribed. So hit subscribe. Come on, guys. But also, it's going to be a fun time. We'll talk about the stories like Davey said. We'll talk about the guys. We'll kind of talk about what we think these guys are going to do this year because there are a lot of stories this year. This is, as the promotional pieces go, could be the best season ever. But Davey, again, congratulations on the win. It gives you the time. You got the most time out of anybody out front. but you got to thank those sponsors in your own voice.
Actually, real quick, I want to tack onto the podcast thing. There's going to be a Primetime Racing paint scheme reveal for the throwback race during that broadcast as well. I've been working with Mikey. He's getting the car ready for me, and I'm gonna show that off. But outside of that, I got to thank everybody that I know that is watching right now. You guys are amazing. You're the best. I love you all so very much. Thank you so much for supporting my hobby. All the PTR guys, Steven, Tommy, Ricky, Mikey, just everybody that is in that group chat, everybody that's on this team. They're always a blast to talk to and hang around with and race with. USORL admins for doing a great job tonight. Rounding up a bunch of misfits for a race on some dirt. That was they did a good job. You guys for putting on a great broadcast as always. Joe for having me be a part of the Fake Racers podcast, which you should watch or listen to. And I don't have any actual real sponsors, so unless you're giving me money, I'm not thanking you.
Well, Davey, again, thank you so much for taking the time up here in the booth. We'll talk more about it this week on the Fake Racers podcast. Remember, live this week, so tune in. You're not going to want to miss it on JTN Wednesday night. Davey, thank you again. Congratulations on the win. Good luck next week for that throwback race. Can't wait to see the paint scheme Wednesday night.
Thank you guys so much. I'm excited to go watch Tommy's World. That's what I'm going to do right here after this. So.
Yeah, Tommy's World, again, folks, it goes live right after the broadcast ends, so you can watch it, you can go back and watch the broadcast. We always like that, but you can also check out Tommy's World. It'll be uploaded separate to the Tommy's World playlist. But again, Davey, look at you. Plug in. What a company man this Davey Hazard guy. Congratulations again, bud.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
And Tommy, that's going to do it from the Dirt Derby for us.
Yeah, our maiden voyage onto the loose surface of dirt racing has yielded us a phenomenal race tonight. Great heat races, a thrilling LCQ, and a darn good main event as well, Joe, with a very close finish at the end. A lot of fun to be up here broadcasting another one of these things, and man, I'm looking forward to seeing some throwback paint schemes next week at Atlanta, that's for sure.
And next week, I'm sure will throw us for a little bit of a loop, but it's going to be a fun time seeing all the great different paint schemes. We got a great league of painters. It's a lot of times what we call the USORL. Got a lot of great paint paint designers. So you're going to see a lot of great cars. Atlanta 97 next week. It's a throwback race. It's a throwback track. It's going to be a fun time. But Tommy, one final thing I want from you tonight. Are you ready?
Sure thing, Joe.
What should these fans at home do if they want to see more great racing action?
We got to hit that like button and the subscribe button. And if you are new to this channel here, JTN, welcome, welcome. You don't want to miss out on that fun. Like and subscribe. Boy, I'm telling you what, Joe, we're pretty close to 450. Almost there. It's going to be pretty cool when we hit 500. Should be soon, Joe. A couple weeks, maybe. We'll see.
I'm really hopeful. But again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Saw some great numbers tonight, as always. Late Saturday nights, early Sunday mornings for you on the East Coast. And for all of us here at JTN, for Bristol, our producer, our camera dog, for Tommy Bordeaux up here at the booth with me, I've been Joe Towansky. Thank you so much for tuning in. Spread peace, love, and happiness to all those that cross your path. Have a wonderful rest of your big game Sunday, big game weekend. Monday should be a national holiday. Fantastic evening to all you. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Bye-bye.